all the Hollywood movies, all of those ones, there's always like beautiful people, in all of those Lord of the Rings, there's always some porcelain skinned fucking fragile woman in distress. Is there? Or now do they make them all like, now all the women are like badass? Remember they would, I don't know if they still do that, where they just treated women like such shit and made them such weak characters for all these years that they just did like a 180. And rather than writing a strong female character up against a strong male character, they just flipped. It's like, all right, now the woman's strong, the guy's a pussy. And then all of a sudden there was like all these these fucking action movies. Well, I don't mind if the woman's a superhero and she's doing that. But when you see just like it's a regular fucking movie and she's not a superhero and she's throwing some guy upside down through a fucking plate glass window, it's like, all right, the guy wasn't even running at you. You had no momentum. I'm to believe. I mean, maybe you're CrossFitting, Maybe that's why those people that CrossFit run down the street with the fucking holding an office chair above their head. That has been the greatest thing about COVID, watching the CrossFit horseshit go away. God, how annoying was that? You're fucking sitting outside trying to eat something. These people remind you that you have to be working out, and they have to show you that you're... It's like, dude, I work out too, all right? I do it in the gym with other people working out. I don't need to be running by other people trying to enjoy their fucking breakfast. Got me over here questioning my toast. You cunt. I should have got the salad instead of potatoes. Sorry. Anyway, so you wouldn't know it, but I'm actually in a good mood. I had a good day. My life's starting to slow down. We're turning in the movie this week to Miramax, which is sort of the final deal. And then we start adding music and we colorize it, We make my Charlie Brown head a little more visibly enticing for a family valued audience, whatever the fuck it is. We're gonna somehow make me look palatable. All right, so you guys know, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that me, okay, Mr. fucking phony Hollywood, grew up on the East Coast, right, dude? Everybody out there was too fucking real for him. So he fucking hopped in his fucking car, drove across the country out to fucking La La Land where they're fucking bunch of pedophiles fucking each other in a hot tub, right? That's what goes on out there. You would think that I am just a lost cause, but, I always keep coming back to my inner redneck. You know what I mean? I do. I like trucks. And I've been actually wanting to, my wife won't let me get a gun, right? So, as far as she knows, there's no gun in the house. You know what I'm saying? Well, she don't know won't hurt it. Well, maybe it will. I actually saw these things. For all you gun people out there, all right? I got a question for you. What do you think about these? I took a picture. There was a sign. I was going for a ride in my old truck today, and I saw a sign that said non-lethal projection. No background checks, no permits required, interstate travel friendly. So my question is, what does it do? It's non-lethal, which means that would mean there's no way for me to kill you with this thing. So what exactly does it do? Does it shoot a giant net out like fucking a villain on the Batman series? Like, what comes out the end of it? What do you think about it? My big thing, because I don't mind killing somebody that comes into my house. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Unless it gets on the rug. Then it's like, Jesus, now I got to fucking cut that section out. No. It's, my thing is my fucking ears. You know what I mean? My ears already ring. I don't need to be, blowing somebody away and then my ears are ringing even louder. That would annoy the shit out of me. So I'm wondering with these non-lethal ones. Or can't you put, like, rock salt into your fucking shotgun? Like, what do they shoot at white people in Portland, Oregon? What are the cops... I don't want the ammunition that they shoot at non-white people. I want the ammunition that they shoot at white people. Because not because I don't want to kill somebody that would, if anybody ever came to my house. It's just, I just don't want that loud bang and then my ears ring even fucking louder. Although I've been reading up on tinnitus or tetanus, however the fuck you're supposed to say it. And these people are, there's just all of this shit that claims that they can cure it, which obviously they can't. So I always get the name of the product, and then you try to look up a review. And these people are such pieces of shit that they've actually created phony reviews that pop up first, hoping that you're going to read that. Like, I talked to a guy recently. You know, I told you I'm getting rid of some stuff, selling some guitars. I got my suits that I wore on Letterman, and there's this guy who has a comedy museum. I'm going to donate them to him. And I was talking to him, and he was talking all of this crazy stuff. He was saying how, you know, there's a medicine they give you. I got to be careful here because it's the internet. Nothing has to be right? Just look into this shit. If you get prescribed Valtrex, he was saying an alarming amount of people. I thought, you know, it wasn't like 0.000%. It was like a actual percentage. Like, you know, like 15% or 7%, it does like irreparable damage to your kidneys. So people take that if they get like herpes or cold sores, or like if they're older and they had shingles. And I guess the information, according to this guy, was on the FDA website, but they buried it because from what I've heard, the FDA was infiltrated from people that used to work in the pharmaceutical industry, which they never should have even allowed to have those fucking psychopaths on there. But nobody gives a fuck. Right? And he was also telling me that vitamin C is really bad for your kidneys too, and you have to watch out for the amount. And he was claiming that the amount of vitamin C in an emergency, which I take when I'm going on the fucking road, he said what's in that packet is too much. Now, I don't know, and I don't know where to research. Like, how do you find out what the right information is? And can somebody anonymously who works in the pharmaceutical company industry write in just, how do you do that for a fucking living? Like, how do you just sit there and come out with some shit that you know has some crazy side effects for a certain portion of people and then fucking do everything you can to hide that fucking information and actually create phony fucking reports? It's crazy. I sound like an anti-vaxxer right now, don't I? You got to pick your battles, man. You got to pick your battles. Who knows? I went with the vaccine because they first tried it out in England, which is a bunch of white people. So I figured, all right, it's got to work on some level. Because generally speaking, white people will sue the shit out of you, you know, because of their status, you know. Do you think the royal family can even get COVID? If you're like totally like inbred or whatever. I mean, I think what that fucking redheaded kid did in the royal family was needed genetically. I mean, they were disappearing up their own royal freckled assholes. Like, I mean, just how many more, like, you know, I'm not going to lie. I would say the older fella there, the blonde one, was a good-looking dude. But a lot of them, whoo, Jesus. You know, what, because they're a royal family, they should be beautiful? Well, yeah,